formally recognized. And also, wouldn't that be federal property?
I don't know if it's,
Because the Army Corps owns that around the Charles River?
yeah, it's right behind the 495 go to the Midway line. It's along the Charles River. I
Yeah.
think some parts of, if I'm not mistaken, some parts town owns it, the rest of them, it's a federal land under the Wild Fish and Game, all right, Dennis? Right
Yeah.
around that line.
You're right, and I believe the Conservation Commission does own some along Maple Street, though, Hannah. I know Boy Scouts have done trails in collaboration with the Conservation Commission to access the Charles River off of Maple Street. So the commission owns an access point on the north end of Maple Street, which does go directly to the Charles.
Okay, I can look
Yeah.
into that.
That would be awesome, actually, if you can, identify it exactly, because when you look at the maps, usually sometimes so complicated and, so hard to read it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And if Concom has something that is a direct access, it's a lot easier if I don't have to compromise with other stakeholders to create that access, like,
Okay.
right, if it's internal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
So,
the other thing is, if you look at the Victory Packaging decision, I believe there was access given to the town behind their property to access to Charles directly as well there.
Yep.
And we've
Off
never
High
done
Street.
any,
Yep.
yeah, off of High Street. We've never done anything with it, but I'm pretty sure that was in the decision, some sort of easement.
Oh, maybe we can reach out to, Victory.
Yeah, well, it
Or,
would be in
it will
the
be on the-
decision. Yeah, I think we'd find it in the decision, the planning board or the planning board decision, maybe in Concom's decision as well, because I'm pretty sure they spent a fair amount of time before conservation as well.
is,
But I know, yeah, there was a lot of talk about
is that
that.
developer? Oh, the packaging?
It's not
Oh.
Victory, it's a big, packaging,
It's between North Main and Maple.
Maple Street.
A building?
It's a building.
what?
It's a-
Oh, okay.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, between the building and the Charles River, they had given us an easement, that was
Okay.
part of the decision, yeah.
yeah, that's actually a really nice access to, it's yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can probably get that from planning board, like Dennis said.
How far back we talking? If I was gonna look up the filing?
It was like 2015 or so,
Okay.
yeah,
About 8 years, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And
Okay.
sometimes there's cars parked there already in that little opening.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
probably people already doing it. We
Yep.
just need to make it
Or maybe a
official.
nice,
I mean, the high
Nicer
street,
path
but the
to
high
get there.
street is not really, it's not a large, road. And, so there is no place to park or anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if there was an easement, if some area can be cleared
Yeah,
right after Victor's property, I mean, it can be accessible.
right.
I mean, this is beautiful to walk
Mhm.
on it and then, talking about the kayaking or something,
and the fishing and, yeah.
because it's not really deep around there.
Right. I don't know if we need to overtalk SNET. SNET is
Yeah.
great.
SNET is great.
It's a great example. Maybe we'll use it to replicate other things around town, like some of the process and stuff.
Mhm.
Unless there's anything we haven't talked about with SNET.
Is there any other way to tie it in anywhere else? Does it go all the way to Franklin? Yes, it goes.
It
over
officially
to
goes all the way
Prospect.
across, right?
It goes to Prospect Street and then stops, right? For us, it stops.
And goes to the Franklin after that.
That's Franklin's side though.
Yeah, the Franklin.
They're responsible for that, right? Or actually,
Well, it's
not,
the state.
The state.
It's a state, but I think what I was reading was the goal for this action plan was to improve the trail itself, which
And that was done.
and that was done.
That was
They
done.
did it, so I guess,
Yep.
yeah, so the only thing that I think SNET needs to be improved is educating the public about it, because we don't have anything on our website, and I did Google it. And I don't think it was on mass.gov either. Or if it was, it wasn't
Yeah.
useful information.
Yeah, yep.
So that's the only like minor improvement I thought of, but
We have a page that tells what recreation stuff we have in Belly?
nope.
Oh.
That's gonna be a big project for our interns.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
yep.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, so then develops net into a multi-use trail. Okay, yes. I think we can skip that. Canoe launch on Charles River.
I don't think we have any space, am I right? Not that I know of. We have no particular spot, am I right, Dennis?
Yeah, at one point in time, I think that was tied in with that dam that, they were talking about giving to the town. They came with some nice property, but it also came with the dam, so I think that's probably why that died.
Hmm.
So
Maybe we
maybe it didn't happen, but I also feel like this is spelling. This might be an opportunity to work with the Charles River Watershed Association.
Yep, and we do have some access points at North Maple Street, is an access point, but, we'd have to look at parking. And also, as I say, the access point behind Victory Packaging, it's a large parcel of land. The idea with that was that people would be able to access the Charles there.
Yeah, I think the high street, high street access will be the more ideal because the water is not moving too fast, and I don't think it's really deep too. And,
Yeah.
so I think it will be, it's deep enough, but not, it's not really fast moving water
Right.
versus up to Maple Street, maybe a little further down. And, I think it will be easy access from the high street. That's something that's, as soon as when we get the information, maybe, the easement from Victory, that will be one step towards to this goal.
Yeah, okay.
And as Sahan mentioned, he had brought to my attention, we do own a parcel on Pearl Street. Not the battery storage side, but the other side, we own direct access to the Charles at that point. There was a dam there that we took down, so could certainly have access and an opportunity to create parking there as well. And that's Pearl Street.
Yep, so maybe, I
That's
know
the
you and I,
easiest
we
point.
discussed it, it's that will be something, in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another option for us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's a great area.
Yeah, I think it will be because there's more open space, you got the
Yep.
dam there, plenty of parking space. It's off the main road. It's, once you do the whole landscaping and cleaning, I think it will be awesome.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, cool, I think that's something, we definitely pursue it if we can.
yeah,
Dennis, I think that will be awesome.
Yeah, the thing is, I think if we had, like, obviously, when talking about SNET, we're awful proud of that. And it was a huge undertaking to get all that done. If we really prioritize a handful of things that are achievable, it'd be great to put the resources behind it and really see if we can make them happen, and that's one, access to the Charles. I mean, that would be something that I think would be very attractive. We always talk about, the head of the Charles, where it actually is. Bellingham is, near that. I don't know how safe it is. I don't know what happens when you upstream, if you're off a dam or something, but.
yeah, we might need to put like, do not go past
Yeah.
signs or something.
They're gonna go past.
Right.
I mean, that's something.
At least we warned.
That's right.
And also I see this, it's on the Parks Commission, obviously, we talked about it. We didn't have a lot of movement on the Parks Commission over the years. But this will be something tied into it, maybe we can get, some of the volunteers involved. Maybe we can expand it and then we can utilize them, with the DPW, with the Concom.
Yeah,
And, with this, committee, we can maybe just come up with some kind of ideas, at least collectively. And, that's something we can build on.
yeah,
And I know that Dennis mentioned that, it's, Boy Scouts, and then they did some, work in the past, maybe they get
Yeah.
involved.
yeah,
As a volunteer, obviously, they always willing to do it. That was something, that we can tie it into, or maybe we can announce it. We need more, volunteers for the Parks Commission. And obviously, it's run by volunteers like everything else. And, more the merrier,
yeah.
Great.
just an idea.
Just an idea. Okay, so I was trying to fill in a little bit for Concom here with the expand recreation at Jenks and Silver Lake, and this is literally just, I
I was gonna ask, Arcan Park, is that Jenks or not?
think it's.
Yes.
Oh, it is?
It is, okay.
Is
Yeah.
there access there for canoeing too, or not?
I think there is a little beach there, isn't it, Dennis?
'Cause
Oh,
it's
yeah.
always closed
Yep.
when I
Yeah.
go there. It's always closed.
Yeah,
So there's nothing online about it, so I didn't know
Yeah.
what to write in here. I
It's a
didn't
little
even.
beach, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you can launch.
do we,
There's
do
no
we,
signage there that says
yeah,
canoe launch or whatever.
do we treat that,
It's good to know.
there's like a certain time of the year?
I
when
think
we
it's
treat
treated,
that?
doesn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
We
Yep,
do,
it's
okay.
a very
Is that
nice-
DPW does or?
I pay for it. I don't do it.
So,
Okay.
hey, you pay for it.
It comes out of my budget. It's Pond and Lake Connection. Am I saying that right, Dennis?
Right,
Like
yeah, it's a,
milfoil
yeah.
and stuff like that to kill.
And it's in, yeah, it's for aquatic, yeah, treatment, and it's in June,
It's once a year?
once a year.
Okay. we've done
very
it.
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's perfect, good.
it's Jenks Reservoir that's there, but Arkham Park is what it's called, you know, Jenks Reservoir is the name of the body of water. And Arkham Park is the park that we have there. It's very nice, a nice sandy beach.
Very
A lot of
small,
people
quaint.
prefer it because it's much quieter than Silver
Yeah.
Lake.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just never saw anybody launch a canoe, kayak, anything.
Yeah, so I guess like what would be the recreation there? Is it like, is there a trail there? Is there, yeah.
There are,
Canoe,
There is a
kayak?
little bit of a trail
There
around
was a
it.
trail around the park, I know that,
Beach area, yeah.
I
It
won,
goes over a little dam and
geez,
you can get
I
on
don't
the
know
other
for how
side.
long ago, but I did it
Yeah.
long time ago, and it's, so it just, yeah,
So
I
there is a
remember
trail
having
after
something there, yeah.
people love to fish there,
Yeah.
as well. And certainly
Okay.
you can easily put a canoe in the water there or some type of boat in the water there. You
Oh,
know,
that's
We
perfect.
not,
Good,
just need to publicize that you can
but
do
it
that.
needs to be.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good,
nice.
'Cause I always wondered, I always took the kids and I'm like, oh, I wonder if we could put a canoe in. Never did it.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then
These
for
pe-
Silver Lake, is that accurate? Swimming, boating, splash pad, fishing, anything else major that happens there?
No,
Okay.
do we, when you, it's actually, while we're talking about it, when you wanna canoe in, one of these, either the ponds or, river, do the citizens or, residents, do they have to get a special tag or anything for their canoe?
No.
No?
No, only
I-
if it's over, I believe. And I don't
Yes.
think these ponds allow motors.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Scouting, improving facilities for scouting activities. I've actually spoken to Boy Scout group this fall about, doing some stuff on conservation land, but I wasn't sure how strong the scouting community was in Bellingham, because it took me a bit to
Used to be
find
strong.
out.
Used to be.
Yeah,
I mean, it's usually, youth sports and then, you know, it's, and, Boy Scouts, you know, it's, they kind of take the initiative or any kind of,
the Eagle
Eagle
Scout
Scout, you know, it's,
project.
am I right, Dennis? They usually kind of, you know, all the
yeah,
youth
nope,
sports and
you're
then-
right. My son-in-law is hugely involved in the scouting program and, would be a good contact for you. They actually camped out on, the island at Silver Lake this past, fall and they do cleanup projects over there and at Arkham Park as well. But, yeah, they do different things in town. So it would be a good idea to touch base with them.
And also maybe we can reach out to the youth sports, boards and then, you know, it's, and then we can get some volunteers certain time of the year.
Okay, yeah,
Was there a piece of land off of High Ridge that was owned by the Boy Scouts at one time?
Yes.
Yes. What happened to that? Did that just become conservation land?
I don't know that it was owned by the Scouts, but the Scouts
Okay.
camp there and the Scouts do still camp there.
Okay, there's
on
an
occasion.
easement, I think. Yep,
Yep, there's an easement on High Ridge, right? It accesses the conservation land. There's a huge parcel there that the
yeah. I
Conservation
think there's
Commission have.
two entrances, I think. You
Right.
can get to it.
Yeah. Yep, there's a
Alright.
campground out there.
Yep, I haven't found that yet.
all right, CBA, we know it hasn't happened.
Yeah,
Is that something has to go through the town meeting, am I right, Dennis?
Yes.
Yeah, the select board would have to vote in favor of it first. It does involve a tax increase to basic one time to pay for it. So, that's kind of the rub. But there are matching funds from that we're all paying to the registry that would come back to the town to match what the town raised, which is how a lot of communities, mentioned last time, a lot of communities get these projects done with those funds.
So what will be the option? I know you explained that to me, recently,
This is it. This actually, so Charles River Watershed, whoa, sent this to me. If we can all,
Is that this year?
this would be if we worked on
Okay.
doing it for, yeah, this.
could you send that?
Would that be the?
Send it
You
back,
all
please?
have access to it.
Would that
Okay, I
be the?
don't know if I am.
Oh, you have it on Google Drive. If you go to the shared Google Drive.
Okay, so that
Okay.
spreads it out, the 1% to the 3%. Okay. perfect.
Yeah,
I got it.
he ironically just
I
sent
read the
this
whole
to
thing.
me like a month before I even realized that we were gonna need to do this committee. So I was like, this is good timing. So
When it,
This-
when it went up for vote before, was it just people didn't wanna pay the extra tax?
yeah,
They want it, they don't want it.
yeah, and maybe they just didn't fully understand
Yeah.
what it meant.
Yeah, it was never presented it was never presented to town meeting. The board over the years, chose not to, pursue it. It hasn't been brought forward for a long time. It may be something to, bring forward for consideration, but, we could do a little work to show what the impact would be,
So Dennis, you said if we implement this.
Yep.
And the benefits are, you said we might we might get some extra grants.
Well, we actually get a percentage of the fees that the registry collects for sales of property. And they publish every year. That's where Hannah got that information, how much money we would have been entitled to. So we can certainly, they provide it every year, what we would have gotten had we adopted this. So we can, we can firm up what the process is, and, that might be a recommendation of the open space land to give further consideration to the adoption of the Community Preservation Act.
Is that something in its, after we discuss it, and then it might be possible to bring on the, like if benefits are, if we present it on the spring or, fall?
Yeah, we can certainly bring forward the information to the board, so the board can, give it consideration. This is obviously a different board than the ones that have reviewed it in the past. Maybe this board has a different opinion of it. So we
Maybe
can
we should-
certainly, yeah,
Yeah, maybe we can look into it, and then, it's obviously, I'm looking at it, it's, most of the towns that are Norfolk County, they part of this, am I right, Dennis?
excuse me?
Most of the towns that participated
Oh,
around
yeah.
Norfolk County in this, am I right?
I would say more, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm thinking there are far more communities that have adopted it than not.
I think the percentage they gave out last year to like Franklin
Yeah,
was 20%. They don't collect the whole 3%. I think Franklin only does 1.5%. So they
Yeah.
only made the first tier of allocation.
yeah,
If you charge the whole 3%, then you get the full allocation back. So they match what you've put in,
yeah,
they match it.
okay.
That's how I understood it.
Yeah,
It looks like, and it's
But
stated
people aren't
one
willing- People are willing to do. the
$1.4 million,
3%.
almost 1.5,
Yeah,
and they got 312 and 312,783,
Mm.
and then got matched 535 and almost 536,000. That's what it says here.
Yeah.
For the Franklin, that's a pretty big number.
It is.
yeah, but are people willing to pay the tax?
Yes.
That's the. And I think that's what happened on the last looked like the last vote, people wanted it on the surveys that you guys did last time.
Yeah.
They wanted it,
Mhm.
72% wanted it, but when they heard about the tax, sounds like they didn't, so.
Okay,
Yeah. Here, it was not brought to town meeting, it was brought before the select board have given it consideration periodically over the years. But I don't believe it's ever been, I don't believe it's ever been formally brought to town meeting.
Okay,
okay.
Yes. It's been brought before the select board for consideration, but hasn't moved forward. beyond
So
that.
basically, if it's like a 1.5 or 2%, it's, it will be, what is it, roughly like a 40-50 bucks additional monthly? Give or take?
No, well, what 1% would probably be about, I'm gonna guess, Sahan, in the $50 to $60 a year range. So it'd be about $50 or $60 a year added to your tax bill
For per
for
household?
1%, for 1%.
Okay. Okay, that's something, it is probably maybe, it's not much, but it's, we can something looking into it.
Sean just got back to me and he said, it's tonight. I was like, I have an email where you said you can do the 29th. That's okay though.
We'll put some things on his to-do list for that.
Yeah, I'll be like, don't worry, I'll have things for you.
That's awesome.
Okay, all right. Implement master plan. So this was something I was hoping to kind of dig into a little bit. First of all, was the master plan created by a consultant or was that something that someone in the town actually did?
The town master plan, I'm pretty sure Jim did the bulk of that. Jim Cupfer did the bulk of that.
Okay, okay. Because there's definitely some things, I guess I don't know, is the purpose of the master plan for everyone to use it as a guideline for future decisions for the next, whatever it is, 5, 10 years, whatever the master plan it goes till?
Yeah, it absolutely. I mean, essentially what it does is it takes into consideration, the views of the different, boards and committees, but as well as the public. There were a lot of public sessions where, input was sought from the community. Unfortunately, they're not well attended, but there was some work done to solicit information from the public.
Do you recall who was on that, committee?
If you find the master plan, a copy of it, I'm sure that Amy Sutherland has it. The names of the people that served on
Okay.
it would be on that.
Okay,
Okay. So is our open space plan does it need to match the master plan or does the master plan just encourage the town to follow or like prioritize open space goals?
I'm sure there is a section in the master plan that talks in terms of open space and recreation. But, it talks in terms of course, housing, business development, economic development, things like that. So it gets into all aspects of government, but there's definitely a section that talks in terms of recreation.
Okay, okay. Yes, these light blue pieces are Jim's things that he added, so, considering additional zoning changes for town center to encourage development into a more traditional New England town center. He added the downtown overlay district adopted to reflecting zoning that supports traditional New England town centers. Any comments on that?
Yeah, that's the Red Mill project, and the idea was sidewalks, pedestrian access, so that it would have more residential access to the town common. So the Red Mill project, which is being developed, that was the downtown overlay district. The thought was that would help to create that type of feel, but obviously that project is just beginning.
Right, okay.
Mhm.
So if we keep this on there, then, yeah, it's in process.
Right, that one's actually just beginning, yeah.
Okay. Okay, protect farmland. Is that happening?
I think it's,
What farmlands are there, just wangers?
it's pretty much, I think so.
Anything under 61A or B,
Wangers
one of
have
those.
something, right? What did wangers have on there?
They do have one.
They have something.
Yes,
Okay.
because I'm working with them on a project right now. I can get something from the assessors. I'm sure she has a list. But I guess my question is, do we feel like there's a need to protect farmland? If so,
Yes, I just don't know. Yeah, I don't really know what the thought was on that, other than maybe acquiring farmland. There is a restriction on the we call it the Ozella property, that large tract of land that's out behind the across the street from the middle school, that has a restriction on agricultural restriction on it, so we know that can't be developed. The other parcel is the large, it's called the Cook Estate on Lake Street. And the two women that owned it have both since passed away, and the family has it now.
I think it's been-
I don't know if they're committed to preserving it or not, but that's a large tract of agricultural land.
okay, so maybe the intent there was like just the farmland that is left, making sure that it doesn't get developed per se, like sold, they don't get bought off.
Probably, that's, maybe
Maybe that was what they were.
yeah.
And one time I talked to the lady at the Crook's place he's talking about, they had a yard sale. And the niece was in there and they were trying to get like an agricultural guy to come in and do farming. But that was years ago,
Yeah,
and I haven't seen anybody at the property since.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna ask Betsy. Okay. I feel like we don't need to cover this. This is the same as all the previous meeting, wildlife, natural resources, okay. Review and amend regulatory measures to encourage and,
Actually, hold on a second.
Yeah.
So it's, as I said, my wheels are kind of turning a little bit. It's obviously, we're talking about the agriculture, farmland, so forth, so on.
yeah,
To protect the wildlife and natural resources, flexible zone and transfer of development rights. And so that will be something, and it's as I said, just brought to my attention, it's that little the parcel was in the process, I think, was offered to the town as a donation. And then that's something that we can add this on an action plan, we can look into it. We can reach out to the developers of the Depot Street. Is that something we can add this under this action plan, Dennis? You think?
Yeah, I don't know if Hannah, I kind of throw it back to you. If that's something that you
I
want
mean,
to
is
put
it an
in.
open space preservation? I mean, it's,
Yeah, it certainly
It's
is. It's
Yeah.
20 acre
Right.
parcel, so.
yeah, I think so, definitely. I think
Yeah.
that Concom would want to go out there and look at it first,
Yeah,
but
right.
when have they really said no to land and preserving it? So,
I mean, I think they were thinking to donate it. I think we need to reach out to them because, I think there is another LLC out there. They're trying to get or they try to accept the land or beside the town. They don't want to give it to the town, I think. And if there's an opportunity, if the developer's trying to, donate to the town, we should definitely go for it. I think
yeah,
Shady Realty Trust or something, and I think they're trying to stop it to be donated to the town, and if the property owner, if they're willing to donate to the town, it's a nice parcel, and I think we should take it almost like up, like at 20 acres or so,
yeah,
and that's something added into this,
yeah, I agree. with you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, and we can use it as a open space, green space, farmland, wildlife, natural resource. And then, ever can be built on it, and then, Concom, and then the town has the control over it.
Yeah.
that's something we should pursue it.
I agree.
Thank you.
All right, now you're ready for a review and amend regulatory measures to encourage and promote compact development. I don't know, Jim didn't put anything here, so I don't know.
think the zoning bylaws, and it's maybe that's something it's we should, maybe revisit it. I know we constantly do it, but it's maybe, going back to that master plan too, Dennis, that's something maybe we should work on it, it's kind of updating some of the zoning, bylaws, or at least we can look into it. I don't know, when did we do it last time?
Yeah, we can, was done a few years ago. I think the next time it's up to be done is, it certainly can be updated at any time. But I believe it's called for to be updated, probably around 2027 or so,
Oh, okay.
2028. So it's coming, but not to say it could be done sooner if there's a need
Okay.
to.
Okay, so
you.
maybe some measures have been updated in the past 5 years, like as you guys go, as it comes up, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, okay, so I wrote this, okay, so basically public awareness, which at least from an educational point on like social media or the Bellingham website or signage, like it, that's like a huge room for improvement that we
Mhm.
totally can
Yep.
do. And so that's kind of what I wrote here. The only thing I could find online was that there was a PDF showing a table of park locations in relation to the types of activities, which can be useful if someone's looking for something specific. But I don't know the last time that was updated
Mhm.
and how accurate it is, so.
And how pretty it may look on a website.
Yeah, it was pretty basic. Yeah,
That's why
so,
the kids can do that.
I-
Yeah.
The interns will make it nice and pretty.
yes.
And also, the town website, it's probably Dennis can jump on that too. So, we are in the process, or at least we're looking into the update the website a little bit. Am I right, Dennis?
Absolutely, yeah, we have the, yep.
So just basically, she's in the works unit, so
Yeah.
just, we definitely been talking about it. Make the town website a little bit more friendlier, just bring it up to the 2024. And, so just. Karen is working on it, and then I think, she got some ideas. And, hopefully we'll get that going,
Yeah.
probably sometimes this year.
Yeah, I think she's already, she's in the process
Yeah.
of it, for sure.
And then you can jump on that, and then you can add your little pieces in there while they're doing it.
Yeah. Signage, we've talked about signage. I know we talked about last week how some like detention basins might have signage, but I think we all agree that we could have more signage, so,
And I think Sean was looking into it, I remember,
yeah,
he had some ideas about those,
the basin.
yeah, the basins, and then, give them explanation, what they do, what is it good for, and then we can do that for different, part of the town for certain things. It's probably,
Yeah.
he'll come up with some kind of ideas, because he was looking into it.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a continuation, increased outreach events, from a Concom perspective, I don't believe anything impactful or major has happened. I don't know if anyone's even done anything for like Earth Day, for example, so, I think there's
We did the
opportunity.
cleaning,
Was there a cleaning?
yeah, we did clean it, actually, we did clean up around town, as well as Maple Street, Center Street, High Street, on top of my head, so we got, Amazon got involved, Coach Haddad, brought the, volunteer, football team,
Okay,
so it's, a DPW, just, we, provide them the bags, so forth, so on, and then, there's a bunch of volunteers all around Maple Street. So we did that actually last spring on
for the
Earth
first
Day.
time?
No, I think we do it every year, am I right, Dennis?
Yep, we do it every year, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so this
awesome.
year, different, part of the town too, I don't know. It's, what I can recall, we did the High Street, Maple Street, Center Street, around Silver Lake, maybe it's, I know there's like a whole different groups all around the whole weekend.
Yeah, oh, okay, I have
Yeah.
not heard about that, that's great.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
around Earth Day, and then we encourage neighborhoods to get together and we go out and we just tell residents to leave the trash on the side of the road in bags, and we'll go pick it up.
Yeah.
So we do that, yeah.
Okay, and DPW is the main leader of that?
No, the Board of
DPW.
Health,
Oh, Board of Health, okay. Okay.
but we all support the effort. Hey, you know,
You're, you wanted, I didn't know if you were pro trash.
Yeah. hey, you know who's a resource that I didn't even think of? Do you know Marjorie Turner? You probably don't know Marjorie, but
I
Marjorie,
invited her to these meetings.
did you? Okay, yeah, she's written a few books on easy walking trails. She was featured on Chronicle on Channel 5. Have you watched Chronicle? And she actually featured the trails for easy walking, and she's has limited mobility herself. And the trails behind High Street, she featured behind the High Street ball fields. There's trails back there, and she featured those. She'd be a great one to maybe do a series on Access Bellingham. We could talk to her about, and maybe she loves doing that sort of thing. Maybe she could put a few pieces together where she talks about trails, and she could even feature the SNET Trail and maybe what's going on at Silver Lake, and put together some programming. Access is always looking to update programming, but remind me, put it on my to-do list, Hannah. Remind me to get a hold of her, and we can bring her in, sit down, and she's great. But she'd be a good one to have in the studio to do some programming for us.
Okay, yeah.
Short video on the website.
Nice.
Okay. I think we're in our last chunk. I don't have anything on these, but it is all about improving regional cooperation efforts. So I don't know if we have any partner, well, so SNET, I think like SNET, we're gonna skip SNET. But these ones, do we have any partnerships with any of these that I'm unaware of? I guess technically, we do have a relationship with the Charles River Association, but we're not, there's not like a project happening.
No, correct. I know that Lake Hiawatha, Jesse is doing some work down there as far as stormwater creating some stormwater structures down there, because there is a problem with drainage down there. So there's a lot of work going on down there, that engineering work and design work that he's been undertaking. When that will be brought forward, I don't know, but I know they have spent some time in the Lake Hiawatha area, because it is problematic.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think as soon as when they do with that, they're gonna do the paving, I think.
Right.
is there anyone in Arnoldsbrook, like, is there even a group for that? Or was
No.
that was written down, yeah, that's not.
No.
Okay, and then Blackstone River, I think there was a nonprofit for them. But, I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah, the Blackstone Valley Watershed Association, it's pretty substantial, and it begins in Blackstone, so we're just outside of it.
Oh, we're not considered as part of it?
Well, we are as far as being in the Blackstone Valley, but we're not part of the association.
Oh, okay,
We weren't included. It was legislation at the national level that identified what the corridor would be, and we weren't included in it as much as we wanted to be, but we weren't included in it. That was probably 15 or 20 years ago.
huh, that's rude.
Yeah.
Can we be included?
Yeah, that would be a
Okay.
stretch, but it's federal.
Okay,
With the new blood, and it's
yeah, maybe I can convince them.
Yeah,
Okay, last one. What is this? Protect/link bordering resources, such as these aren't close enough to do that, is it? This example? I mean, they're both,
Silver Lake is ours, Franklin State Forest.
I think can't we connect to that? Somehow?
I don't know.
past,
Are we
past
close
the
enough?
Snip Trail.
Oh, okay.
Can we?
Is there a connection
It's
from
right.
the SNP?
I thought it was behind, I thought, I'll have to look it up, I thought, the
There.
state forest was behind High Ridge.
Like,
further up.
Street,
Hey, we're still looking at it right now.
oh, is it not, is it an Ave?
Maybe the-
Oh,
With
what is
state
it? Give
forest.
me a street name. Blackmar,
Off of Pulaski, right?
why isn't this working?
The Franklin State Forest?
Yeah. No?
Why? Okay. Being rude. Pulaski, am I spelling this right?
Yeah, I don't know why it's
Yeah.
not coming up, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there, I can't. There it is. Never mind.
All right.
There you go.
Okay,
Is it right across? Yeah, Town of Franklin, well, it says Town of Franklin, I don't know if that's the state forest, but.
so this is this all of, oh, let me make it bigger. Yeah, so this would all be the state forest, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, like I don't know if he was just. I mean, I could see the potential there. This is
Silver
So
Lake?
Silver Lake, yeah.
This is Silver Lake. This is
Oh,
our
okay.
property where the mouse is. This is ours.
Is that the off the Prospect Street?
This is the Prospect project that's being reviewed right now. So
So on the other side of the Prospect Street, that's the, oh, okay.
it says Prospect High Conservation. This could potentially be. I don't know. I don't have access to clicking on there.
So that's what the farm is, am I right? What farm is that? It's,
Where the cursor is, that's Franklin, but,
Yeah.
yeah, that's that that's that big farm on Prospect Street. Then,
Yeah.
of course, this one here, where the cursor is now, just a little south of that, is the Crooks, property.
Okay,
I mean, technically, we do have a connection.
yeah, right
It,
away,
the SNET does connect to the state forest, but
yeah,
so, I think maybe the purpose of that statement, sorry that I'm changing things a lot. Is just in general, creating connections is better for, biodiversity reasons, for people who want to. You know, walk the whole town of Bellingham, you know, safely, whatever, so.
how many counties Net has an access to it today, so I think,
I think SNET's the only, like, true connection to
Yeah.
other. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, so now we can get to the fun part, unless there's anything else here. I'm showing the survey results.
okay,
Okay.
here we go.
So if, just in case, I'm just gonna preview. This is what the survey was, through Google Forms, so majority of people filled it out in this manner. There's, I think, 10 questions in total. Well, I'll go through them all slower, but I just wanted to show you that this was the main option. There was also paper for people who felt more comfortable with that. So I summarized some of these. So the total number of survey participants was 504 people, which is 2.8% of the total population of Bellingham. Which sounds small, but the previous one was only 1.1% of the 2016 total population. So it did grow. I just explained this, but I reached out to, you know, I was at the town meeting in the fall. I went to the senior center and did a talk. I reached out to the whole school district. It went out on the superintendent's like little email they do. I reached out to any nonprofit that's more environmental focused that would be interested in sharing it. It was on the homepage. I even joined some Facebook groups. It was risky, but I did it and I got some responses that way. So, it was open for like a month and, 2.5 months. So, let's see if I zoom in just a little more. Does that help anyone?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, So the first question was, does the town need more open space? Blue was yes, I don't know was the second runner up, and no was smaller. This question kind of intrigues me because I feel like compared to other towns, we do actually have a good chunk of open space. So it makes me question, I mean, I'm always pro more space than the environmental side of things, but is it that we truly need more, or people just don't know what's there?
I
And
think
what's
people,
available.
it might not be, it's probably a lot of people, they don't know what's out there. That's
And it's all
something
spread
obviously,
out too.
yeah, it's, I mean, our town is a lone town, I don't think a lot of people, they know it, they know the Silver Lake. And, they know the box pond, so, it's, a lot of people, we didn't even know about the Arkham Park.
Right.
And they hear about it, so I'm assuming am I right, Dennis? Am I saying it right? And it's a lot of people, I don't think we have a lot of stuff, but it's not being maybe advertised.
Advertising.
And, people, they
Fully
don't know
utilized.
it. I mean,
I agree.
and a lot of people, when you talk to them, they don't even know where the SNP trail is, they have no clue.
Right.
And, I think that's something, we can work on, and, obviously, some of these things that we highlighted it's open space. 83.3% people that they're asking for. And, we got plenty of open space, just we need to
Yeah.
preserve it and then utilize it and then, tell the people what's out there.
Right. And also, like, if we look at it from that perspective, it's probably cheaper for the town to work on the utilizing and advertising versus trying to get more land itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just like something to think about. The second question was, what should the town of Bellingham prioritize in identifying lands for protection and or acquisition? So 1 being, it needs to be super prioritized, 5 being like, I don't care about it at all. So if it's highlighted in green, that's where the average ranking was. So a lot of people ranked these categories as a 1. Not a lot of people cared about connecting the spaces. That was really the only outlier out of the whole thing.
Mhm.
The highest percentage was protecting areas of conservation and ecological values. So I think when I was reading through, it seems like a lot of people are concerned about developers, warehouses, things that are gray infrastructure coming in and just destroying biodiversity and the value of it. So, yeah, I mean, over 50% voted that, so. Anyone have any questions or thoughts on this question?
No.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
This one was interesting and so where do you wish there was open space and why? And this was the one, the picture where they picked 1, 2, 3, or
Yep.
4, 1 being northwest and then left to right. If you look
It's
at
pretty
it.
even.
What?
I say it's pretty even.
Yeah, it's really not too, I mean, it seems like the left side of Bellingham had the highest, because 1 and 3 were on the left side.
Okay.
But still, like, it's really not that big of an outlier. Common themes of what people could pick a number and then they could add like why they picked it. So you'll see with each bullet point, I added about like how many people kind of talked about this category. So like 48 people brought up how there's not enough open space or making sure there's open space near certain neighborhoods, especially up in quadrant 1. I think am I right that there's a lot of neighborhoods up there, but maybe not next to open space?
Actually, it's number 1 is, it's pretty much 50-50, am I right, Dennis? That's a lot of
Nope.
neighborhoods there, but there's a lot of open space there too. That's off
Yeah,
of
that's
Depot
the-
Street.
No, number 1.
Number 1 is here.
Yeah, but look at how much there is in 2 and 4. There's only a couple pink boxes here.
Hmm.
I mean, there is the water,
Yeah.
but that's not open space technically, but.
Beaver Pond, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Or, so like what we've been discussing, open space not being used for recreation.
Mhm.
People obviously had comments about warehouses, overcrowding, traffic, those kinds of things. 40 people said something along the lines of an environmental reason. 14 people focused on mental health, physical health, accessibility, so more about like people using nature. 10 people care about what's in their backyard, or at least voiced it. This is what I was talking about. A lot of people really liked talking about SNET. Either they were saying SNET was great, or we need like more places like SNET. And then the last one was improving, you know, places for athletic reasons. Pickleball court was brought up, apparently,
No tennis courts brought up, huh? Just pickleball?
just
Yeah.
pickleball. They
Pickleball,
said
huh?
that they have to go to other towns to get pickleball,
I
and
don't
they,
even know what it looks like.
it's just a mini court,
Yeah.
tennis court.
Oh, it'd be kind of cool for that.
I guess it's just like a
Yeah,
very
high school or something,
inclusive sport,
Yeah, I guess.
so people really like it. I have
Yeah.
never tried it, but people really like
I
it.
think there is a plan, you know, it's the master plan for the high school and middle school fields. It's, am I right, Dennis? Didn't we do something, study?
I think, I know they've talked about it, whether or not they've said they're gonna
Yeah.
include pickleball or not, I don't know.
I mean, it's a cool. it
About
would be
the improve our
inexpensive to
sports
build.
fields.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I-
definitely improve the
Yes,
sports
there's gonna be
fields,
some-
yeah.
Okay. This, I mean, I had 374 responses. I did this today, so, I can get down to the nitty gritty in the future with all this, but this was just kind of a common overall. During the past year, have you visited any of the town open spaces, town common?
Oh, common.
People loved it. I mean, that's out of the 475, I mean, at least 350.
What is nice?
People love it.
Yep.
And SNET for only being here for how long? Not that long, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Right.
it's like the
Yeah.
second highest. And then, so you're well-known, Arcan Park.
Yep,
A lot of people
Maple Street.
wrote
High
Maple
Street.
Street, so I'm wondering if they just thought like I've driven on Maple Street, or if they actually walked around on Maple.
I mean, you see when I go by a different time of the day, you see the similar faces around Maple Street.
Yeah.
And, but I see a lot of people, you know, they walk on Maple Street.
Okay.
And, I mean, I personally see it, and it's, a lot of people, they walk their dogs and stuff as much as the traffic.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's a scenic route too for the town. So
Right.
I'm assuming, you know, they might be driving by constantly, cutting through the town.
Yep.
I mean, it might be it. Obviously, we all talked about the High Street, you know, it's, that's another cut through street, and then that opens up the Charles River. So
Yeah.
that gives a nice indication for us where we need to focus on a little bit more, maybe, you know.
So the other category is like people's comments, which are not shown here, but just some of them were saying like, I've never heard of these. Or they're describing, they'll like
They don't get out.
describe it, and I realized through the description, they're talking about SNET, for example. So like, I think there's just a lack of clarity happening.
Like you said, there's not enough information to show where those locations are for some of these people.
Yeah, or some people were like, I didn't even know that was a place
Yep.
there,
Yep.
yeah, so. What features or facilities should we provide to better meet your needs? I know some of these are kind of cut off, but, so there's more restrooms, more natural areas. Dog parks are up there, or places for dogs to be able to go, picnic area. More water play, I think it said area, I can't remember. Athletic field, athletic courts. I think this was like playground, children's
Playground.
play, more environmental education. And then I'm satisfied.
Yeah, pretty much even, except just the
Nah.
Natural areas.
more natural area and then more children's of the parks. The rest of those
We
pretty
do
much,
have a lot of natural areas.
and that's, I mean,
But
Even
can
if
people
she-
access?
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
No one wants to walk in the wetlands.
Yeah, we might need to create like boardwalks, you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
Are there any challenges or barriers that prevent you from enjoying Bellingham parks? So here it
Oh,
is.
There it is.
There it is. lack of parking, I feel like was a big one, at least
Yeah.
I've noticed when I've started going out to some places, I thought it was interesting, it was for feeling unsafe at a park, it was, I think this is 37. So I don't know if we have particular park where
Unsafe,
things,
not the real.
maybe poor lighting,
We got light in all our parks.
Right.
Am I right, Dennis? I think-
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
It'd be interesting to know where people
What
don't
they
Yeah.
feel
meant by
safe,
that.
so. we
Yeah.
could
I
make
mean,
some
as the town
improvement.
common has lights.
Yeah.
Middle schools, parks have lights. Silver Lake has lights. And, Starbrook has lights. I don't know, maybe we're missing something.
yeah. Ask around,
Yeah.
ask your kids, they might have a reason that we haven't considered, you know? So lack of accessibility, which we've kind of talked about,
Yeah.
and then, these people feel fine, no challenges.
Yeah.
There were, I don't remember anything particularly important about the challenges and barriers, except maybe people talking about, not knowing where they can walk their dogs. Let's see, yeah, so this one, what can the town of Bellingham do to improve the quality of parks? These are all shorthanded like responses.
Yeah.
So I will eventually get into that, but 285 comments, so, people got ideas. And I plan to lead through them and see what could be done, like, what could we actually, you know, do with that? What actions do you think would encourage you to increase use of open space sites? So town website. Not a lot of people care about cable anymore.
Yeah,
I was actually surprised newspaper made it this high, because there were comments saying Bellingham has a newspaper. But I know there's the Bellingham Bulletin, which kind of goes under that, right?
Yep.
So school notices, this one was events, town hikes, school, school. Something with school events, I think just like having more environmental, it was under the category of environmental education. Sidewalks and trails created for walking and biking, and then improvement of maps. People feel like they don't have access to like maps, so.
No,
Which
they probably
we don't.
don't have access to where to go into these sites.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, it's
where
not
are the
easy to read
access
the maps.
points?
I think that's what the people trying to figure out. I mean, it's not really easy. It's, to read the maps overall.
Mm.
Even like when you go to the different federal map sites, if you don't know what you're looking at, even like when you go to Wild Fish and Game and then look at it, you know, what's out there, what's available,
Yep.
what's not, it's complicated, you know, it's,
Yeah,
I think it's general info all.
yeah,
You know, it's, if you don't know what you're looking at, and it can get complicated.
yeah,
I mean, there's a simple thing is, you know, to go place for fish and hunting, when you go to the Wild Fish and Game, just to figure out. And if you are not knowledgeable, it's, you don't really know,
right.
or you can't really figure it out. I think that might be it, and it's,
Well, something that I use is, I don't know if anyone else uses the Trails app, but I think there might be one trail on the Trails app. Trails app you can use anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you zoom in on Bellingham, it's not there at all. And I know there's trails here.
Yep.
yeah,
So like, that's like such an easy way to, reach out to people. If we actually had our trails on the map or on the app.
how we do that? That's something, you know, that we need to add it in.
I need to look into it to see if it's like a citizen-based thing, or if,
Like a Google thing.
or if, I'm not sure.
The trails are usually on the Google Maps, so when you hit the Google Maps, usually all the trails, it's usually pops up, isn't it? Like, you know.
Like
for
for
instance-
state
Like adding a
forest,
business to Google Maps, you have
Yeah.
to jump through hoops to do it, but once it's there, you can see it on a map.
huh,
So I wonder if Google has something like that,
I'll look
Because
into it.
usually when you hit the
because everybody's. Googling it.
attractions, so it's under the Google Maps, and they have pretty much everything, you know,
Yeah,
parking.
Yeah. You gotta know how to use it, and get them.
So the last one was just the age range, which surprisingly, I don't know if this is surprising, actually.
35 to 54.
35 to 54, they got things to say.
Yep, the tax.
But technically I got everyone from each age range, so I was proud of that.
Yeah.
It was just, I think, 0 to 9 was like two kids. And I was like,
Still.
all right.
That's good.
That's accomplishment.
And then, just like, who were the people who were taking it? So 61% female, 37 was male, and then if you're anything else you identify as this might have been 2% or something, yeah. Or no, it had to be a little bit more. No. Yeah, so that is all of the survey.
Well done.
Yeah. A lot of good information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, I
You're gonna
accidentally
triple it
did.
next time, right?
There's more comments that I need to go through, but yeah, in 5 years, it needs to be tripled.
That's right, that's right.
So I'm hoping like we can kind of sit on this, think about it, and once I continue to go through the very specific worthy suggestions, I mean, there was some people who just like scribbled on their keyboard,
Yeah, didn't
is
have
what
a
it looked
clue.
like, so, I'll like bring those kinds of things to us, but, this is on our Google Drive, if you ever wanna sit and ponder on it and.
Yep.
Yeah, this was fun to do, so I'm glad that we got this kind of result.
Good job. Great job.
Yep,
actually.
great job.
Great.
I think that hits everything on my list besides scheduling for the next meeting. I just like don't know the best way to get everyone to show up at the same time. And so if there's a way to try to be as inclusive as possible, I'm open ears.
Google survey.
Another Google form.
Pick 3 dates and.
So how soon we wanna meet?
I would like to meet, let me look at a calendar.
I
Okay,
thought you
so,
said the last
yeah,
meeting,
February
middle of the
Yeah.
February, I think it was
Yeah.
the 15th, the Thursday. That was an option, I think.
were we considering that?
I
Yeah,
have February
'cause I-
7th as an option.
Oh, that was, I think, in
Very
case we
cool.
couldn't get
Okay,
this
okay.
one. So I feel like every 3 weeks is fair. I mean, I'll meet every other week, but for other people, I feel like a month is too long and we're not really getting much done.
Like if you do like every 3 weeks, you said?
Yeah,
I mean, if you wanna go to Monday, the 19th, might be an option.
that's President's Day.
Oh, okay.
But that was my question, is if we did it that week, is that gonna be bothersome cause that's vacation week probably for kids?
I mean, I can be available on the 19th, 15th, and 22nd
Okay,
at the moment.
Thursday, so the 15th I think is available, cause the 22nd I believe is planning board,
Okay. So I
so,
think that's why I kind of put on my notes the 15th. I think that was the conversation.
okay. Okay, if there's a better way, I think I'm just gonna suggest one date.
Okay.
Please, whoever listens to this recording, please respond to me, cause I hate planning it and then, people telling me that they can't make it, and so I have to do things over and over again, so. I'll send an email out about that.
Okay,
Okay,
Good,
thanks.
awesome.
good
Thanks,
meeting.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Pam, in case I accidentally ruined your plans. I don't know if she's.
You
still
didn't
there.
ruin my plans, but I thought the meeting was at 7. So that,
Oh,
yeah, I apologize for that.
no, it's totally okay. The meeting kind of just got all, like, some people thought, even though they said that they were coming, they didn't realize the date on the actual Zoom call changed, and so they've missed it because it just went over their head. It's not a big deal. All right, everyone have a good evening.
Thank you. Motion
Good night.
to adjourn.
Second.
You're gonna teach me, aren't you?